Hello, everybody. Welcome to another week of the Beyond Parody podcast. My name is Dan Dillon. I'm your host, and I'm joined by our typical panel of Travis, a writer for the Babylon Bee, and Robin, a writer for the Babylon Bee.
Writer for the Babylon Bee. Hello.
But we have a very special guest today who really needs no introduction. John Rocker. John, welcome to the Beyond Parody podcast. Not too bad. Thank you for joining us. We just showed a little clip of you running in as an Atlanta Brave. Thank you for taking the time to talk with us today. How are things going with you, John?
Going well. Just moved out of my place in Florida about 5 or 6 years ago. I lived in Atlanta for 24 years and had enough of that town. It's just gotten to a point. I always thought I would keep 2 houses, but Atlanta's just gotten to be 10 pounds, 5 pound back, and literally I think in 19, no plans to move, back and forth, whatever, but no plans to move permanently. And literally I was sitting on, if you guys are familiar with Atlanta, 285, the loop. It was Tuesday at like 11 o'clock in the morning. Shouldn't have been much traffic, and I am sitting on 285 staring at gum on the pavement, looking at taillights going, what? Why do I still live here? And literally called my agent up like a day later, selling my house. That's it. I've had it. And now I live somewhere for 24 years, and now I have to go back there. I thoroughly dread it. So
do you feel as bad about Atlanta now as you used to feel about New York?
No. It's still got a few attributes left. But when Donnie, when Abby, hell you say this.
Oh my gosh.
I honestly want him to get elected, just so he puts that city into a deeper hole than it already is. And maybe at that point in time, he can tell liberals, now you see what we mean? And maybe at some point, they'll be like, all right, fine, we get it. Our entire life philosophy is terrible. And all right, this is finally shown us.
John, I think you're overly optimistic.
I'm kind of rooting for failure there.
I'm with you. I think it's going to be fun to see the sink. I mean, New York does impact a lot of other stuff, but it's just going to be a mess they made for themselves. I'm sort of here for it.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's also like saying, I hope the Titanic sinks so that they up those safety standards. That's terrible.
And now you and I did it, right? So, there's that. But honestly, New York is already so bad. Will you even notice? It's like a 300-pound man gaining like 25 pounds. Do you even notice? Nah, you don't. You're still fat. And
I think it's
slightly fatter. New York's worse. Now it's just slightly more worse.
The comments that you originally made, I guess, that got your initial, what do we call it, a cancellation back in the day. You even actually specifically said, I'm on a, whatever, the Metro or whatever.
I said the 7 trains. We stayed at the Grand Hyatt in Manhattan, and which was right above Grand Central Station. And so I just take the elevator right down to Grand Central Station, hop 7, and there's one thing that your manager doesn't like is when you show up late to the ballgame or late to batting practice, and you never knew if you took a cab. Who knows? Well, what would happen? It might. I did take a cab a couple of times, and one time it took me almost 2 hours to get to the ballpark, and I was late, and I did get fined. So I'm like,
you get fined if you're late. How much do they fine you?
I was like $1,000 or something. I can't remember what it was.
You're a closer. They shouldn't fine you for being late.
This is also Bobby Cox, and yes, I'm the closer, but I'm not Chipper Jones, I'm not Greg Maddux, I'm not Tom Glavine, I'm not John Smoltz. Those guys, probably get a pass. I was probably a second or third year player at the time, but the 7 was guaranteed to get you there in about 25, 30 minutes. But you better be one hand on your wallet.
But I think in the comments you said, you even said, I don't want to be next to a 3-time or 4-time felon, something like that, which is actually like, it's so pertinent to now where you see the stabbing in Charlotte, right?
It was the guy that killed, I got you. Like a 15-pound felon,
Yeah. Jeez. So, you weren't wrong. I mean, like, you don't want to be on these trains. You just never know. And then if you try and, God forbid, step in and save somebody, then you get arrested like Daniel Penny.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I'm a big enough guy, so I've never had anybody really mess with me. Right. But have you ever been on the 7 train or the 4 or any of them?
Yeah. I used to live in Bergen County.
You're literally scared to take a deep breath. You're like,
Yeah.
Ugh,
I only like
it's
public transit in Europe. I don't know why it feels safer when the times I've lived overseas, but in America, I'm terrified of trains and subways and buses and
maybe
all
back
of it.
in the day, Robin. I've been robbed on public
Oh,
transit.
well, yeah, you're going to get robbed. That's
really?
just part of the experience. You're
Yeah.
definitely.
That's why you take extra money. You take like a dummy wallet, one to
Yeah,
give the
dummy
freaking
wallet,
mugger,
you
and
put
then
it-
one that you keep your stuff in.
You stuff the other one down your shirt. But
Hey, Robin, I think
go
I
ahead.
think you just like it because it's called the tube.
The tube.
I think it's literally just that because people sound adorable when they call it the tube.
The metro, the tube.
All right, let's talk news. So government shutdown just happened, right? Our lives, are we all right? Everybody functioning okay with the government being
Coffee
shut down?
tastes different.
Is that government coffee?
Noticeably different from Monday. It does.
Let's play a clip because this is the viral clip that the liberals are losing their minds over. It's the Sombrero clip.
You gotta have a mind first before you can lose it.
That's true. So let me share this. Let me share this clip for the viewers to see. If you didn't see it, this is the clip that started the firestorm. This was just reshared, I think, by the White House, and their commentary on it is hilarious. Said, every day Democrats keep the government shut down, the sombrero gets 10 times bigger. All right, so here's the clip.
Way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans bull. Even black people want to vote for us anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our side so they can vote for us. They can't even speak English.
The music is
so they won't realize we're just a bunch of woke pieces of, at least for a while until they learn English and they realize they hate us too.
Oh,
don't you love having that coming from our president's account?
Oh, absolutely.
That's not some clown like the four of us, doing this on our own little podcast or our little bit. That's the most powerful man in the world talking and doing it really well.
Oh,
that is
hilarious. I loved it because of all the humor aside, it actually was some of the best contextualization of how the Democrats have used illegal immigration to gain power that I've heard. It was very succinct. I don't know who wrote it, but
the only thing that could have been funnier is if after that Trump came on and said, "This is Donald Trump, and I approve this message." They could have made it funny.
Totally.
Thank you for your attention to this matter.
And it will get funnier every day if they make the sombrero a little bit bigger. I think.
Oh man, yeah, if they stick with that, that'd be awesome.
And the Democrats are trying to figure it out.
I absolutely love it. And God knows, when was the last time a liberal could take a joke? They're the most unfunny.
Oh, this is racist. This is super racist. Don't you know, John? I don't know. They can't explain why it's racist, but it's racist because they use this.
That's been their go-to forever. They can't debate anything, any topics, any issues. So it's just racist. So let's just shut that down and talk about why you're racist and your opinion doesn't matter.
Let's look at them trying to punch back. So I don't even get this. This is so stupid. They don't know how to meme. They don't know how to joke. So this is Gavin Newsom, who, by the way, there's some interesting context for this. I don't know if you know this or not, John, but we actually sued Gavin in the state of California and won.
Nice.
Babylon B did.
What's sued for?
Because he tried to pass a law that basically stated that you can't put AI generated or any type of manipulated media out there about public figures. Otherwise, in the state of California, it's illegal, because he was saying that it was going to affect election outcomes because people were going to think that deep fakes are real or whatever. But it was so broad that it affected satire, and Babylon B obviously being satire. We make jokes where we say people, we put words in people's mouths all the time as part of the joke. That's what satire is. And we exaggerate and things like that. So basically he was going to make satire illegal in the state of California, and we sued and we won. And so that law,
they're doing that in Great Britain now. So we're next.
Oh, geez. Yeah, no kidding.
So now he's doing the same thing, though. So he shared this meme. So there's two layers to this. Number one, it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen before in my entire life. It's not funny in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't make any sense at all. And number two, this is exactly what he tried to pass a law to make illegal, which is putting deep fakes out there about politicians. And so here we go. I don't even know what I'm watching. This was posted by Gavin Newsom, I guess, making fun of JD Vance. Here it is.
If you're flying today, I hope, of course, you arrive safely and on time, but you may not arrive on time because the TSA and the air traffic controllers are not getting paid today. Our military is not getting paid today.
Is he supposed to be an Oompa Loompa?
He's supposed to be a minion.
A minion.
He's a minion, and Trump is Gru. Do you get it? He's a bad guy. Except that Gru became a good guy at the end of the first movie.
Yeah,
what
Gru
a
is the
moron.
hero of the story.
I love minions. Minions are the best.
I would think that JD Vance would find this funny. Has he shared this? Like,
no, but he does he loves memes that are poking fun at him. I mean, it's the same thing as Charlie Kirk loving the fact that he was on South Park.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to have a bad sense of humor about things. Were you ever on South Park, John?
I got a verbal mention, South Park.
Oh, you did?
Hey.
And Family Guy too.
What was the verbal mention on South Park? I want to know.
Something. It wasn't flattering. It was.
Oh,
I think.
I wouldn't expect it to be
context of the O.J. Simpson episode. Something. Oh yeah, like the baseball player John Rocker. So I can't remember the exact context, but it was not meant to lift me up by any means. But that's a glass ceiling just broken.
Put that on your resume.
I'm part of pop culture now.
You
That's
are.
amazing.
You are. Do you still get recognized, by the way, in public at all?
Only a lot.
Only a lot.
Only a lot. Yeah.
That's
How
not
do
very
you deal
much.
with that? Does it freak you out when people come up, or?
I'll be 51 in like over 2 weeks. I started getting recognized when I was about 23, 24. It's a weird anomaly when you played on TBS for 162 days a year all over the country and really all over a number of countries. This has been 28 years of getting noticed damn near everywhere you go. So I've been noticed, pointed out, walked by people in here. Hey, there's John Rocker. I hear you talking as I pass by for more of my life than has not been occurring. So I got used to it years ago. I got used to it probably 20 years ago.
Travis, how often do you get recognized? You've interviewed now 4 people, so you are.
I've interviewed 4 people in the entire world. I have been recognized twice.
John, you're for number 5.
That's a round number.
Well, sort of in a way, but yeah, I've been recognized twice. Once was I was at a soccer game for my kid, and then like one of the assistant coach's husband was like, "Oh, hey, big fan." I just went, "Okay, hey, thanks." And then one was at a Corky's restaurant. And they just said, well, actually, they recognized my wife first because even though she's not really in anything, she's in like a couple extras things. She was wearing a Battle sweater.
Look how cocky you are now. Look how big your head's got. Take it down a notch, all right?
You got recognized in a Corky.
Emmy or anything, all right? Just,
yeah.
Until you get the Emmy.
But yeah, every time I've just been like, oh, thanks, yeah. And
meanwhile, he shows up to the Christmas party and we don't even recognize him.
Who's that guy with the hat over in the corner?
It's true.
And show up this year.
At the end of every Christmas party, Seth is like, you should talk more.
I have only been, because I was radio news for years and years, and nobody recognizes you in public if you're radio news because it's just your voice. But one time years ago, I was checking out the grocery store and the checker was like, oh, wait, are you the lady on the news? I'm like, yeah, I am. I was so excited. Like, yeah, I am.
You used to be on NPR, didn't you? You were on NPR.
I was not in. Well, I actually did intern with NPR like 20 years ago, but no, I was local radio news.
Yeah, NPR. How nice is they're not getting funding anymore? NPR, what there's a horrid organization.
Well, that's part of the shutdown, right? Didn't they want to refund
they got
NPR?
They got bricked.
Yeah, and NASA's been yelling about it too. And I'm like, dudes, you guys just had to trim the fat. Just trim some fat from your budget. You guys are paying like staffs of hundreds of thousands of people to not do much. I mean, SpaceX over there kind of running circles around
your
it.
ass, I know.
Yeah. So how are things going? We've got the shutdown.
We've got Hagseth's meeting, which I want to show some clips from.
Oh yeah, John, did you watch this? This is one of the great moments, I think, of the last 15 years of military history. I watched almost the entire speech. And
yeah. So for those who don't know, Pete Hegseth had all of the admirals, generals, everybody come into one room, and he and Trump were going to give a speech, and nobody knew what it was about. People are like, is it going to be the start of World War III, whatever? And it wasn't the start of World War III. It is the start of the battle against fat generals, I guess. So here's the first clip where he makes the comments about seeing fat generals, and I love this. It's the best. Again, John, like you said, it's like, can you believe how lucky we are to live in a world where this is our government and military now? This is the best.
He's a badass. There's no doubt about it.
There you go.
It's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon.
I can see Cartman going, hey.
Curvy. The fats are curvy.
Look, it is bad.
You can build
and it's not
the swimsuit issue now.
who we are.
Yeah.
So whether you're an airborne ranger or a chairborne ranger, a brand new private or a 4-star general, you need to meet the height and weight standards and pass your PT test.
That's awesome. I mean, it's like, why does it take somebody coming in here? It's like a revolutionary in order to say we need standards in the government. I mean, in the military.
So novel either, you know?
Yeah.
What I really like about it is that this was like leading up to this. They're like, oh, they're assembling all the generals at this place, and everyone's like, oh no, World War III is going to start, and then he just calls them all fat. It's just the greatest bait and switch.
And this is my favorite clip. I think we are done with that. Is this clip? So let me show this one. You know, John, every single time I have to share a clip, it's like a little thing. It's so hard.
Quick aside. When the first comment he made was everybody's fat, was there like a collective like sucking in around the room? Could you look out at the room?
I would love to see the audience reaction. I wish they showed audience reaction.
That's fantastic. I know.
Imagine if they found the one fat guy in there and they zoomed in.
Game face and call him all fat. I love it.
All right,
these are guys. I bet most of them they're used to just getting their ass kicked like it's their job every day too. Not getting called fat. This is incredible.
All right, here we go.
No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses. No more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. No more debris. As I've said before, and will say again, we are done with that
Whoa.
I mean, how do you argue with that?
Can we play some Lee Greenwood right now? I'm proud to be an American. Can we get that clip there?
We can add that in. Yeah.
I don't know if it was intentional, but I love the big American flag in the background, and it just really makes me think of Patton's opening from the movie Patton. Tracy Scott's just in front of everybody. Oh man, so good.
Is it Full Metal Jacket, that scene with the drill sergeant who's walking up and down the lines of cadets yelling at him? Yeah, I thought about that too. You are worms. You are lower than worms. That's what it felt like. It made me feel something I haven't felt in a while, which is proud to be an American.
Wow.
All right, so here he is, and this is obviously what got him into hot water, or whatever you will say, with the liberals getting mad about, oh, you're trying to get rid of women and the military and stuff like that.
You only be in hot water with liberals if you give a shit what liberals think.
It's true.
Just stop caring.
This is not about preventing women from serving. We very much value the impact of female troops. Our female officers and NCOs are the absolute best in the world. But when it comes to any job that requires physical power to perform in combat, those physical standards must be high and gender neutral. If women can make it, excellent. If not, it is what it is. If that means no women qualify for some combat jobs, so be it. That is not the intent, but it could be the result. So be it.
Awesome.
You know, it's funny that made everyone mad because he front loaded it with "we value women" and all that stuff before he.
Well, it doesn't matter what you say; they just interpret it whatever way they want to.
Yeah.
Which is that his intent is to get rid of women, and his intent isn't to get rid of women, but the necessary outcome of raising standards and making a neutral standard would be that a lot of those roles there are no women.
So be it.
Okay, there's no women in the NBA. There's no women in the majors. You know, it's
I watched some videos of some feminist just arguing. Their only point they argue is women are very valuable in the military. I'm like, of course. And he says that, but argue with his point about that we can't lower standards for women and defend that, because if we want a strong military, we can't lower physical standards so certain people can compete with the other cadets.
I thought for a second I would like to meet the woman, but I actually see I would not like to meet the woman that I am serving next to in the military when my big 6'5", 250-pound ass gets shot and she has to carry me off the battlefield.
Right, of course.
What kind of woman can lift 6'5", 250 of dead weight and drag my fat ass to safety? I wouldn't like to meet her. She would terrify me.
Demi Moore.
It's the only one.
Yeah, right. Rosie O'Donnell probably could if she had that fat weird bag. She's at least size-wise, but probably not cardio. The cardio would probably give out on about step 6, and she'd pass out and reach for a cigarette. That's what she would do. That and a donut.
This has been the big lie of the feminist movement, I think, is that women are physically equal to men. I'm a woman. I'm 5'9". I'm not tiny, but I could, like, my 12-year-old could probably kick my butt if he wanted to. Like, there is a physical difference between men and women. And
I think all the women's lib stuff of the 70s is kind of lost its air. The Gloria Vanderbilt days, I think it's kind of lost its air a long time ago.
I don't know. There's some,
especially the old transvestites in women's sports now.
That term's like 15 terms old now. We've evolved into 50 other things we call them now. We can't.
That's true. Gone from one thing to bitch about to a dozen.
Oh, geez, Stan.
Speaking of which,
hey, if you're watching this,
I was
Dan,
going to bring that up a second ago. What the hell is that?
This is the picture of the generals, the men wearing women's military uniforms.
Now, I've seen the one on the right, but the one in the middle I've not seen.
This happened. Like this is
a real photo?
Yes, this is a real photo.
This is a real photo. Yeah. And you know what's crazy about this too is that this was an actual, military function too. So even the guy on the right, whoever that is, you don't sit like that in these types of situations if you're a man.
You're too fat to cross your legs, man.
Yeah, you don't sit like that no matter what you do. This is ridiculous.
And the one in the middle's got whatever legs crossed because it doesn't want to fall out of her skirt. that's why that's happening. That's a nice shave on that calf, though. That's a very nice shave.
Very nice shave.
I'm learning so much.
That can't be near. That's definitely straight razor. She a lot of time, attention to detail right there.
We will not be
short and smooth.
We will never see those people grouped together in a room again. Oh, it's so sad.
I mean, maybe at a reunion, if they hold some sort of like man and female combat uniform reunion in 10 years, that'd be fun.
They still have drag shows. There's drag shows.
Yeah, there's shows.
I'm so confused by. I'm not confused by it. I'm honestly not. I know that it's all just some sort of. It's not even a psyop. It's just people are actively convincing themselves of things that aren't true, which is just that there aren't any differences between women and women. I got into some stupid argument. I don't even know why I even get into the arguments. One person was using mixed doubles and tennis as an example of why men and women are equal. They wouldn't put the men and the women out on the court together if they weren't equal. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Are any of you guys Seinfeld fans?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's that in Bizarro World. It's like Bizarro World.
Bizarro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. But what flipped the switch?
The whole liberal universe is Bizarro World.
Yeah, but why? Like, what happened that flipped the switch into Bizarro World? Like, why are we here? I feel like I will say I have noticed over the last maybe year that people putting their pronouns in their social media bios seems to be going out of fashion. I've noticed people who had them that now have taken them out. I feel like that's a tiny little symbol, a little signal that the winds are changing maybe back to normal world. I would like to think, but who knows?
It's not going out of fashion on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
We have. I don't know if John, you saw the big firestorm about canceling Netflix, which honestly people should have been doing all the way back in the day.
I haven't had Netflix in 5 years.
The Cuties thing was enough that everybody should have canceled Netflix that had any type of moral standard whatsoever. But now, like it kind of comes up in waves. Is this whole thing where it's indoctrination of kids and all the different shows. And it really is alarming. Libs at TikTok has been doing a great job of kind of documenting all these different clips that they just sneak in to different parts of shows, that if you're wandering around and your kids are watching the show and you come out of the room and go back into the room or whatever, you're not even going to notice it. It happens so fast and so subtly. But I mean, look at some of these clips. Let me bring up one of these. This one's just so preachy and ridiculous. I can't. This is in a hospital in the Babysitters Club, which is meant for, I think, 9 to 15-year-old girls.
Books as a kid, they were my favorite books. They were everybody's favorite books.
Just watch how preachy and ridiculous
and
this is.
To see them bastardized like this is so sad.
There's no reason to put this in there. It doesn't further the plot. It doesn't do anything at all to add to the story. But Netflix is pursuing just slipping things like this in. This is a kid who's in the hospital, and and apparently the doctors are getting the gender wrong. The ultimate grave sin, right? So here's the clip.
Well, but we finally found a file for a Bailey Del Vecchio. Is 32 Burn Hill Road still the current address? Yeah. Have you been giving him fluids? If he's dehydrated.
So there's a little boy laying in the hospital.
I've been giving him fluids. That she's saying him.
Yeah.
Have him change into this.
Have him change into this. Look, he's wearing pink.
Well.
I hear someone's not feeling well. Let's take a look at the little man.
Let's take a look at the little man, he said.
It kind of looks like a chick.
Can I please talk to you to the type?
Oh, this 14-year-old girl needs to talk to these two outside, these two Trump voters.
Oh, we're in trouble here.
I know that you guys are busy, but as you would see, if you
piano music starts playing,
looked at her and not her chart, Bailey is not a boy. And by treating her like one, you are completely ignoring who she is. You're making her feel insignificant and humiliated. And that's not going to help her feel good or safe or calm. So, from here on out, please recognize her for who she is. And if at all possible, could you find me a non-blue hospital gown?
What?
Oh my God.
Women wear blue hospital gowns.
I mean, this is all the little ridiculous stuff that liberals are just so obsessed with.
I think I would have been okay with that clip if when the dad walks in and he sees his daughter talking to them, he goes, "What are you doing? Stop talking to them like that. They're doctors." That would have saved the whole thing.
Yeah.
Where's that piano music?
And of course, a very, very different way. It's like liberals are they're taking a playbook out of the Hitler Youth. I mean, just slowly, subtly, just until you're by the time you're in your 20s, you're unrecognizable, or where you would ordinarily find yourself just from years and years and years of the slow drip, 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 subliminal brainwashing. There's been a couple of probably Netflix shows, the series or whatever, that I'll start watching, and by episode 3 or 4, they all have to have the gay couple. Yeah. Every one of them has to have the nice suburbs, but then it has to be the gay couple. You have to have one.
Put a chick in it, make her gay.
It's part of it has to be part of the script. Here's the script. Plan 1, plan 2, plan 3, gay couple. It's just again just a slow. So this is normal. No, it isn't. I mean, the gay population makes up 3% of the American population. It is not normal. I mean, I can honestly give it. But it's not the fact that it exists. It's the fact that you have to try to trick me into thinking it's normal. It's not normal. Not every group of friends has the gay couple. Some do, but according to Netflix, every group of friends all across America, from North California, South Alabama, and every little town across this land has got the gay couple in their group of friends.
And bonus points if it's a biracial gay couple.
Always.
Then you can check a couple boxes.
Well, now, is that because that new, I guess the new law SAG passed?
Yeah.
Like a DI where every that's when you started seeing every commercial has got the mixed race couple. I think commercials now and shows, they all have to check every box of every demographic out there. I think that's why you're seeing it. It's a has to be in there kind of thing.
Yeah,
you got to represent this nationality, this ethnicity, this gender, this whatever you want. Yeah, the gay versus the straight. Yeah, you got to represent.
And you're referring to the explicit rules. So these are the ones that are made public. So yes, they have all different types of rules in Hollywood now about if you want your film to be eligible for certain awards, you have to have a certain number of minorities in leadership positions in the production and all this other stuff. They definitely have that stuff, but implicit more than explicit is more dangerous. They don't feel they don't just it's kind of like that movie Office Space, the flair, right? Like you don't want to just have the minimum flair. You got to have more than the minimum. More than the minimum. So everybody is out trying to do each other with this stuff where you're going to have, again, where you start seeing disabled Black kings and things like that.
Let's have all of them up. You include fat, though. You got to include fat. And if you can be a homosexual, that's even better.
So we're going to come full circle in about 10 years where white men will be considered a protected class. And we're going to have to make sure we have skinny white men.
Once they kill enough of us off and there's like few of us around, then possibly we'd be an endangered species at that point in time.
That's a good transition.
Put us in cages.
This is a good transition to Don Lemon's rant about white men.
Let's take a look. Actually, on Don's show about 8-10 years ago, and he actually gave me a fair interview. I was shocked.
Really?
I thought it was going to be a verbal fist fight. It was actually in the studio at CNN too, down at Atlanta.
Was he afraid of you?
I think he had a thing for me.
It might have been that.
I think so.
See,
nothing wrong with him turn on both sexes, though. Nothing wrong with that. Doesn't make him a bad person.
So here he is giving us. It's always lectures. But here's his lecture to white men.
Oh, that screenshot! Even he just looks so. If you're not listening or watching this, he's just got this look on his face with his glasses.
It's the definition of.
I'm so superior to you.
Yeah.
Thank goodness you can hear what I'm about to say.
Men who look like you, men who vote like you, and men who sound like you.
John.
White men. Something is broken. Something is cracked deep inside when so many of you believe the answer to fear, to loss, to change is violence.
Let's see per capita crime Sunday.
Why does he keep pausing for laughs?
I mean, those are not Trump voters setting cop cars on fire, in dozens and dozens and dozens of riots after George Floyd. Those weren't
in Salt Lake in 2020, they turned over a cop car and a woman defecated on it. And I guarantee that was not a white man. I don't know if you consider that violent.
It was not a Trump voter either.
No, it was not.
She might have identified as a white man, though.
She may have. That's
the previous administration, especially obviously with targeting. When you look at the statistics, and everybody quotes these statistics, Ilhan Omar was sharing it, AOC was sharing it about like white violence and white extremism and stuff like that. And you start looking at, no, it was right wing. I don't think it was white. I think it was right wing extremism. And then like, what's the definition of right wing extremism?
They include Muslim, like terrorist attack,
terrorist attacks are included as right wing extremists
against like synagogues and stuff.
Yeah. And the statistics, and it's just like this conversation that's going on right now with Wikipedia, or as Elon likes to call it, Wokepedia. The people are manipulated. Like Don Lemon, I'm not saying Don Lemon there's any justification for him saying that or going on and like lecturing an entire group of people based upon the color of their skin, because there's not. But these people who listen to him and him himself, they grow up in this world where they're bombarded with falsehoods. They're bombarded with manipulated data. They're bombarded with not understanding the difference between per capita violence and violence.
And it's been my opinion for years that liberals, they think if they say something enough times, repeat it over and over and over again, it will somehow magically become true.
Right.
Absolutely. They hound you with it. I mean, that was the whole COVID thing.
A lot of stuff they say, you're like, it is so blatantly, obviously false. How can you keep repeating this stuff?
Well, I got red pilled because I used to be a lot more, I would never say I was full blown liberal, but I was definitely more progressive for sure. And then every time I'd say something, I'd go look it up and realize the thing I just said was not true. I remember very distinctly a moment when,
but again, keep repeating it. Like George Costanza said, it's not a lie if you believe it.
We were living in San Francisco, and it was right when the trans stuff was just kind of starting to bubble up to the kids, because I had kids in school. And I remember telling my husband, like, well, there could be more than like 2 genders. I could see how people could. And my husband just said, name them. name which are more than man and woman. And once you start to try to have to say what they are, you just look ridiculous. And that was such a turning point for me because you're right. There's only two. Like, there's legitimately only two because you can't do pixie gender with a straight face.
The thing we are where we are is it's not conservatives pushing these weird, wacky, radical ideas. It's always on the left. Right. And the stuff we literally have to argue about that is so like, are we seriously having a conversation about this? How many genders there are? Really? Have I just spent 30 minutes debating you on something that literally should take? Are you serious? That should be the beginning and the end of the debate. That's it right there. Right. But no, I mean, it's just been going on for years too. I mean, debating years about this, about something that is so just blatantly, there's no way you really think that, right?
John, do you think it's starting to get?
Yeah, good. I thought so. All right, so let's move on to the conversation. So, and if it's this ridiculous now, where's it going? I mean, this was not around 10 years ago. I mean, if I had told you 10 years ago in 2025, here are some of the dumbass shit we'll be arguing about, liberals and conservatives and fist fighting about, where's it going? Where's it going to be in 10 years? Yeah. Things never regress. They always get worse.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Do you think, John, that it's getting worse or better? Do you think now that Trump's come into office?
Drastically worse.
Worse. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, now there's pushback, which I think with the pushback, it kind of exposes how bad it's really gotten. Because now you have somebody pushing back and almost like the flames were sort of like slowly creeping along, but now the pushback is adding wind to the flames, fanning the flames, and the flames popping up, saying, "Oh no, we're not ready to go away just yet." And so I think that's where you're seeing it worse. I mean, like the Portland and what you're seeing in Chicago, that stuff is moving along steadily. It's only when Trump pushes back and tries to exercise these people and get them out, they all start going back crazy. Now you see how bad they really are and how many of them there really are.
True.
So yeah, I think it's definitely Trump is certainly pushing back, trying to make it better. But those types of people, I think those types of people are growing quite rapidly.
That's an interesting point because, like, I think during the Biden administration, they had like their transgender utopia, basically LGBT utopia, where they were like, we made it, we're accepted, we defeated Trump, and then Trump came back, and now they're freaking out.
I will say there was that moment, I think, during the Biden administration where they had the Pride thing at the White House, and it turned into the sort of like Dionysian fair of just the spectacle of the bizarre. And that, I think, was a turning point for a lot of Americans looking at that thinking, maybe we don't want to accept all lifestyles.
And the greatest voice, in my opinion, that's emerged in all this stuff, because it's a person who can kind of speak to both sides, I think, and is one of the most eloquent people in the entire world, is J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen the firestorm going on with J.K. Rowling this week, but it's been insane and awesome. And I'm not a fan of everything about J.K. Rowling. In fact, in a lot of ways, at the beginning of the whole LGBT, she actually accommodated a lot more than she should have. I think that she made the whole thing with Dumbledore is gay as trying to appease a certain part of the audience because it didn't matter to the storyline. And that's where in this Netflix stuff and everything like that, you see these shows and it's like this unnecessary, that was 2 minutes of screen time completely wasted on something that didn't have anything to do with the storyline of the show at all, but just to preach to people. Right. And so J.K. Rowling even did some of that stuff a little bit where she appeased that crowd, and she shouldn't have. And the good thing about J.K. Rowling was that she realized it and corrected it quickly, and now she's fighting back against the T and the Q, and she's finally, for the first time, kind of come out against. You've got Emma Watson and Daniel Radcliffe have been very vocally.
They have been the most, because we're talking Potter world now, so this is where I can speak with some level of expertise because I'm mildly autistic and super into Harry Potter, but Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson have been the most vocal, vitriolic opponents of what J.K. Rowling has been. All of the cast members, for the most part, spare a few, have made little piddling statements, but they're the ones that have really doubled down on it over the years.
Right, and it's
even
because
Neville Longbottom.
What?
Nobody knows
even
who
Neville
that guy
Longbottom.
is.
Yeah, even Neville Longbottom. No, he's one of the. Oh, Neville's one of the actually the guy who plays Draco Malfoy.
Draco Malfoy is the one who said
He's
that
like
he
the one-
stands with J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
But
He's based. Cool.
She's finally stood up and said, you know what, these were kids and I've treated them as kids and I've always thought of them as kids, even right up until this moment. But now she's like, you know, the gloves are coming off. Like this is something I'm going to finally address. And she addressed Emma Watson. And man, it is the most epic verbal beatdown of a person in the most eloquent way I've ever seen. John, did you see her tweet? Did you know what we're talking about, John?
I do. I'm not a Harry Potter fan, mainly because I'm a grown ass man. I don't watch things about fairy tales.
Sad.
But
Travis,
I'm vaguely familiar.
Travis, if you ever put the sorting hat on John, what house would he go in, do you think?
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff. I was about to say Hufflepuff. Okay, Travis, you and I.
My point exactly, grown ass man. I'm not watching that.
But J.K. Rowling is so eloquent, and you know, I think that she has played. You know, you look at Elon and the role that he played in free speech with buying Twitter, which I'll take full credit for that because we didn't delete our tweet. I'll take full credit for it. He gives us credit for it. So, and then you look at what he's done, and this unexpected person, this person who used to be a liberal, a Democrat, has stepped up and really made such a big impact for free speech. And you look at J.K. Rowling, same thing. She still technically considers herself to be liberal or whatever party it is out in the UK in their backwards country that she's a part of. I have no idea. But she's standing up for truth. She's standing up for reality. And that everybody is so far gone from reality. And I love to see it. I love to see this whole thing. The tweet's too long for me to put up here, but everybody go to J.K. Rowling's Twitter account and look at the back and forth that she's had this week. It's epic. It's brilliant.
Well, the one key point that I think that was the real is she said, look, Emma Watson, you have been a multimillionaire movie star for your entire life. When I was 14, I was essentially homeless, and I was having to partake in some of these services like homeless shelters and rape centers where you are advocating for men to go into these spaces.
Right.
Because you have nothing to lose in this. You've never had to actually be part of a system where you feel unsafe around a man pretending he's a woman.
Right.
And that I thought was one of the most poignant moments of the whole message. I would like to see Emma Watson's response. I like Emma Watson as an actress, but her politics are very disappointing.
I will say I was in Charleston, South Carolina last year, and I saw J.K. Rowling's yacht, which is quite fantastic.
Really?
About a 300-footer.
Wow.
Was it flying through the sky?
No, it was floating. It was floating on the water. But the biggest one I've ever been on is a 165-footer, and this one, I mean, it had to be interior space, 20,000 feet. I mean, it was absolutely.
That's almost 300. You said 300 feet?
Is that 300-footer. Yeah.
That's almost a cruise liner.
Yeah, I go to the boat show in Miami every year, and very familiar with yachts. I mean, it was, you know, 70, 80 million at least.
How'd you know it was hers? They just said that's.
I was informed by a reputable source. Told me that. Yeah, I guess she'd been there for like a week or so, and you know, word had gotten out. But yeah, it was incredible.
I mean, if I had millions, and I mean, is she a billionaire? I would.
Yeah,
some of those
yachts.
About
$100 million boat, I would say so.
Jeez.
Yeah, she was the first. I think it was either Oprah or her. I don't remember which one crossed the threshold first, but they were the two first completely self-made, no inheritance female billionaires. I think.
Yeah,
I think they were.
And now
Kim Kardashian came along and showed them all up.
I think it's isn't it Kendall Jenner who's the really rich one?
So, yeah.
I think
she's
all
the Kardashians and Beyonce and Rihanna too. I looked this up recently. I was trying to. I think we talked about this on the show at some point. So I went and looked it up. Who all the top female billion and where all their money came from. And it's, well, you don't want to know the list, but you know all these ladies, these rich ladies.
All right, let's look at our blue-haired breakdown for the week. All right, so we've got two candidates, but this one is great because this is a woman. This actually happened last week, and we didn't cover it on the show last week, but it's a great clip, so I thought we'd revisit it. This is an old woman wearing a "Make America Kind Again" shirt.
It's always.
And I believe on the back of her shirt it says "Treat others as you would be treated yourself" or something to that extent. And just see what she's doing. This is ridiculous. "Make America Kind Again" is the shirt that she's wearing. Here we go.
Pretty swing. She switched head. Let's leave her front side open.
Yeah, John, rank her form here as a
look at her here.
Yeah, I thought for a second she was hitting against her front side, which is nice, but then later on, front side got weak. She was flying open, but never be able to get to the outside pitch. They pitched her away. She ended up dying in the minor leagues. Yeah.
Here, look at her right here. She looks like Elizabeth Warren in this picture right here.
Dude, don't they all look the same?
They do.
I mean, they're all like dingy and dirty and dank. The 3Ds, no makeup, hair's all disheveled, some outfit on. I mean, you could spot from it's literally turned into like a look now. It's almost like a race of people. I just came up with that. I'm going to patent it. But yeah, it's almost like liberalism is almost like a race of people now. You can spot them. There's a look they have.
The person that's in this picture paused right now with this crazed look on her face is wearing a shirt that says "Make America Kind Again," and it's like they do not in any way, shape, or form. They're so completely blind to the irony and hypocrisy of everything that they stand for. It's insane. And this isn't this. It was the right. It was us who had somebody assassinated. We were the ones that were the victims of political violence over the course of the last month. And this is their response to all of this stuff. This is their response to it is violence. Like they're the ones who are getting more violent.
That woman we just saw, the crazed MACA woman, do you think that you would get her in a 30-minute conversation, and at the end of that conversation, Dan, she would just be like, you know what? I get it now. You're totally right. I get it. My entire life ideology that I've lived by for the last 60 years has been wrong. I'm going to flip 180 degrees right now. You're so right, Dan. You're so right. I don't know how I could have been so blind. Do you really think that's going to happen? No, it isn't. It's not.
There was a great video. I don't know if you guys all saw this from the Portland stuff that's going on this week, where an Antifa guy is chasing down a reporter, a journalist, and just going to give him hell. He looks because they'll beat you to a bloody pulp. And this journalist is retreating. Did any of you guys see this video? And all of a sudden, the Antifa guy looks down and he's got a green dot on his chest, and he's being cited by a DOJ agent somewhere up in the rafters. And the guy all of a sudden backs up.
Yeah.
And he's like,
well, to a certain extent, that's exactly what, to me, within the realms of legality, showing force and strength and power and resistance is always a good thing, because people don't respond to weakness. They don't respond to it. And that's one of the reasons why they don't want...
That is how Antifa has been met. They've been met with weakness.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I agree with you on that 100%. And that's why they're so resistant to ICE and to other federal agents coming into their towns and actually enforcing laws, because they've been met with no resistance whatsoever for so long.
It's almost like an exorcism. The person who is demon possessed, they move along fine until the priest shows up, and now the demon is going nuts with the priest there trying to exorcise the demon. Yeah. That's almost like what you're seeing with Antifa. But yeah, it was so maddening last night, because I saw that they had the whole thing on camera. This journalist getting her eye dotted for her, and it was some chick with just her eyes showing was the person who punched her. This journalist followed her for several blocks, found a police officer. The officer walks up, grabs the girl's arm, and put her in handcuffs, and she's like, "Don't touch me! Don't touch me!" And the cop just goes, "Oh, okay," and walked away.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Like that's why they are how they are. If the cop are like, you know what, not so much, on the ground, knee in your back, put you in handcuffs, then our attitudes start to change. I mean, I liken them to the 5-year-old brat that's in Toys R Us wanting mommy to buy him a toy, and he's throwing a temper tantrum. If mommy buys him a toy, 2 weeks later, Toys R Us, guess what? We're throwing another tantrum.
Right.
And mommy says, "Pound sand." Am I right, Robin? Am I right? Mom over there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's got to be some form of discipline at some point.
You have to be consistent. You have to be consistent, and you have to have people know and understand the expectations of what their behavior
and
is.
I think a lot of this stuff stops if the rhetoric is not going to change. I mean, look at Israel and Hamas right now. Do you really think Israel would love to be able to sit down with Hamas and let's discuss peace and get peace through running our mouth? Of course they would. Is that possible? No, this has been going
but you know,
on
one thing I will say,
hundreds of years. No,
one thing I will say is that one of the reasons why Charlie Kirk was so effective is the fact that he was one of the few people who was able to disarm people through words, and that was one of the things that was the biggest wake up call when you talk about exorcism. I felt like when I was watching some of Charlie Kirk's videos, I was seeing an exorcism happen in real life. These people who come to him and ask him these questions that have never been challenged. You're talking about challenging people right now, physically, John, and that's true. People need to feel some sort of resistance to lawlessness, right? Well, people never felt any resistance at all intellectually. Sometimes these kids, the first time in their lives they're being told they're wrong about something is getting a microphone and talking to Charlie Kirk. And Charlie was so, if we're talking about strength, so strong at debating, so strong in his convictions and his beliefs and in his knowledge of the subject matter, that he was able to completely disarm people just by having a conversation with them, which is insane. Now, I'm not saying that every single conflict can be solved in a conversation. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that's what
we've tried for decades.
That's what made Charlie so effective, was that he was actually able to change people's minds because he was such a strong commander of the English language, of the facts, of everything. And he was on the side of truth. And when you have facts and truth and knowledge, a lot of us, even me, I know a lot of things about I know a lot about some things, a few things. Charlie seemed to know a lot about everything. I don't know how. Yeah. But like when I get into a conversation with somebody, I can be very convincing if I really, really know the facts well. But, you know, you put me up against them, even though I know that my opinion about, you know, for instance, we talked about the per capita crime statistic or whatever, right? I know the stat show that per capita, white men do not commit the most crimes in this country, but I can't quote the stats and I can't tell you where the studies come from and I can't do all that other stuff. Charlie was able to do that and back it up and completely shut these people down who had literally never felt any resistance to their ideas at all. They're on, you know, some liberal arts schools grounds, and every single professor, every single student there agrees with them on everything. And it's the same thing, these crowds of people out, you know, out west right now in Portland and everywhere like that, they've never felt any resistance to them at all. And so the idea of having the government come in and actually enforce laws because their police officers won't is frightening to them, because they know that resistance will shut them down very, very quickly, because these are not the toughest people in the world. These people, you put these people into a battalion and let's see how well they do in an actual war.
Yeah,
they can lose some weight.
These are the wimpiest people that literally are in their basements of their parents' houses. Never gone out.
I remember watching a video a couple of years ago, and it was Antifa. They were in Portland. They were agitating, and I mean, a big dude. I mean, he's at least my height, but just big and doughy. And he was throwing rocks at cars. Is what he was doing. Yeah. But his throw was like this.
I can imagine.
It was this. It was.
Yep, it was the left.
Like, come on, dude. Is that as athletic as you can be, man? Yeah. I mean, just a bunch.
He's never thrown anything in his entire life, probably. I mean, it's like it's the first time actually throwing something.
And what I always teach my kids when I'm giving lessons: throwing a pitch, throwing a punch, same exact mechanic.
Yeah. Follow through.
100.
How many kids do you have, John?
About pitching is you follow through when you let go of the ball.
That's part of it, Robin. That is part of it. Yes,
that's all I know.
She knows her stuff.
John, how many kids do you have?
Exactly none.
Oh, you don't have any kids? Okay. No.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Never married, no kids, which is why I have all my hair and none of it's gray.
But you teach baseball to kids.
If they ask me, yes. I love teaching pitching. I really do. I really enjoy it.
All right. So we're going to transition now from the news to a couple of headlines. So every week we share headlines from our subscribers. So our subscribers have the ability to log into the Babylon Bee website and pitch headlines to us. So we highlight some of the funniest ones of the week. And then we look at some random ones, and sometimes they're good and sometimes they're not. But this week, let's take a look and see what we got. And John, if you want to read these, can you see the screen and see like the text?
Is the top one we're going for here?
Let me go to the published ones first, and let's see if there were any published this week, and then you can go ahead and read it. So we just read the name of the person who posted it, and then the headline.
I'm not sure I can see the name. It's quite small. And
this was Be Happy 2.
Be Happy 2. I can see that. Okay, so that part. Americans set off fireworks to celebrate government shutdown. I think I'm calling bullshit on that. Did it actually happen?
No.
That's made up.
These are all fake.
Okay.
The Babylon Bee published this one under. They changed the wording a little. Nation erupts.
Oh, that's right. You guys published Satire, huh?
Yeah.
I know you're saying okay.
Nation erupts in celebration as government finally shuts down. That's what we actually published.
I'm kind of happy about that. You know, they threaten it. You know, every year, 18 months they threaten it. I'm like, go ahead and do it, man. I'm talking to you. Stop talking so damn big and do it.
All right, so here's the next one. LPA, the human wrote. Can you read that?
Trump instructs Marco Rubio to take on 37 million part-time jobs to fund government.
Because he's been doing everything.
He has been doing everything, man. He looks so tired.
He's pretty impressive. I like that guy.
Yeah, he's been great.
Down from your neck of the woods.
All right, let's see.
All right, so the next one. Reckless Eldon Lord.
Scientists hide discovery that baby giggles cures depression in women. Robin, your thoughts on that?
Sometimes it depends on what they're giggling about.
What?
They're giggling about just shitting themselves.
Yeah, I was going to say sometimes.
That's one of the rare non-political headlines that we get. I haven't seen one of those in a while.
Why would they hide that information?
Yeah, why would
are
they
these
hide
scientists?
All right, Westland 619. You got this, Sean?
Which one here? Yeah, okay. Christian man fervently prays every Sunday for injury on opposing football team. I've done that. I've done that. Well, I've wished it to happen. To the University of Alabama.
Oh man.
Yes, them. Yeah.
Who's your team?
Drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan. They beat us again last week.
Yeah, that was rough. I thought Georgia was going to have that one. The SEC eating itself alive again, though. That's the whole issue. All right, skull crazes.
Libertarians leave out milk and cookies for Ron Paul on government shutdown.
I like that one. I wish we published that one. It's too late.
That one is good. All right, so Dr. Conservative Prof. This is the last one we'll do.
Democrats complain ICE singles out illegal immigrants. I'm pretty sure that.
I'm pretty sure that's the whole
correct.
function. Yeah.
That one is correct. I think.
That one's not satire. That is why they're mad. That's why they want to shut down the whole government too. We can't give them money for Medicare. Is it Medicare or Medicaid? I forget. Whatever.
Something anonymous.
Medicaid is the everybody. Medicare is the old people.
Is that, or is it the opposite?
Or is it the opposite?
I don't remember. I'm not old enough to know this stuff yet. I have to know that stuff at some
I'm getting there.
Are you?
I'll find out before you guys will.
All right. So, Robin, are you filling the spot of Mr. B this week?
I have a few.
Some quick questions just to kind of end the conversation.
Yeah, John, we usually do a quick kind of round table where you just ask random questions and we answer them, sort of personal getting to know you questions. But I have a question for you, John, from the Babylon Bee's editor-in-chief, Kyle Mann, who's a big baseball fan. I'm going to read the words that he wrote. It is a foreign language to me, but I'm guessing somebody who knows baseball will know. He says, what is your favorite sabermetric stat for evaluating the value of a hitter? Are you a WRC plus guy, WOBA ops plus?
Robin, he's playing a prank on you, Robin. He knows that John Rocker is not going to answer.
Prank on me as well.
Yeah, he knows John Rocker is not going to answer that question.
Just read it with confidence. Read every word.
Did you finish it?
You can take all the analytics guys and statisticians and all that and just shove it right up there. I hate analytics. It is so not all it's useless, but the spin rates, the launch angles, just shut the fuck up. I'm so tired of this nonsense.
Which is why you got
the whole league hitting like 230.
I asked him if it was a real question. So
it is a real question. It's a legitimate question.
Some MIT guy, he would have a response to a baseball purist. No, I don't have a response.
Can I follow up with like a layperson question about baseball?
Go ahead, Travis.
What is your favorite pitch?
Do you want me to speak to it like a coach or a player? The next pitch.
I
use fastball and breaking ball equally. It just depends on game situation, count, type of hitter I'm facing, what the previous pitch did, what hitter did the previous pitch. I never had like a favorite. I'm always going to go to this. It had to depend on, where I am in this at bat.
Were you ever intimidated by a specific hitter more than others, or no?
Did I what now?
Were you ever intimidated by any of the hitters, or were you just pitching to the glove every single time?
I hated facing Todd Helton, man. I hated facing that son of a bitch. He was just good. But there's other good hitters like Mike Piazza. I used to abuse Mike. Mike Hall of Famer, so is Todd. And arguably, Mike's got better stats than Todd does, but never had much problem with Mike. But, Todd gave me absolute fits. Man, he was tough. I'm glad to see he finally got the Hall of Fame, too. It was about stinking time.
I actually went to school with Mike Piazza's younger brother, Tom.
Next door neighbors.
That sounds made up. Tom Piazza.
Tom Piazza. Okay, I've got one.
He was a good catcher, too. He played baseball at PBA.
Mike, Mike was like a 56th round pick. He was drafted as a favorite at Tommy Lasorda.
Yeah.
And then
turns out to be arguably the best catcher of all time.
Yeah, some scout missed that one.
Yeah. All right, Robin, what's next?
Okay, I've got one more question for John and then a quick one for everybody, and then we'll wrap it up. John, I've got 4 sons and a little girl. What would you tell someone
and
like
me? And no cable TV, right?
And no cable TV.
Right,
someone like me who is obviously sports illiterate, whose kids are very interested in sports, especially organized sports like baseball and football. What's the best way to start, and how old should I start kids getting interested in baseball?
Just go sign them up for T-ball.
T-ball?
Yeah. How old are your boys? Well,
I've got old kids. I've got a football player. I've got a 15, 13, 11, and a 3-year-old boy. And the 3-year-old is already picking up everything and hucking it. And he's got an arm. He's got a really.
If you want your kid to be really good at a sport, 3 is the right age. You get a
I don't know what age you can start them at. T-ball obviously is going to be the first step.
How old were you when you started?
Huh? I think I was like 6.
6.
Yeah, that's I tell especially the young guys, the little peewees are 8, 9, 10 years old, and they're already stressed. Some of these kids, I swear to God, they have like strength coaches and agility coaches when they're like 12 years old.
Yeah, we can't do that.
And I tell these guys, I'm like, guys, you don't have perspective yet, because I played until I was 32 years old. The game gets less fun the higher you go. Like playing professional baseball, playing the big leagues, it's not that much fun. It is very stressful. When you get paid that kind of money, and you've got fans booing you and throwing at you if you don't play well, and they're threatening your family, and it can get a little stressful. When you're 12 years old, just enjoy playing. And it really is. It's the purest the game is. Your buddies you're playing with, and you go to the ballpark, you play your game, and you hang around after your game to watch your buddies play, and you're playing wiffle ball over on a side field, and you're getting snacks from a concession stand. That is the most fun you will ever have playing the game of baseball. So get your kids out there and play. It doesn't matter how good they are, just so they can enjoy being outside and getting grass into the uniform and hanging out with their buddies. That's what being a young player is all about.
I love it. All right, I've got one more question for everybody. Let's make it quick. Someone asked me this question recently. It's very random and very weird, but it's a great question. We'll start with you, Travis. What is the weirdest thing you have ever seen in someone else's house?
Probably 6 or 7 elks next to a Kiss poster.
They're not elks. There's one elk there. That's a mule deer, 2 whitetails.
Okay. Are they yours?
Of course they are. I killed that one Montana, that one Kentucky, that one Georgia, that one Texas. And the Kiss painting, I bought that from a good friend of mine, Mike Corleone, who's a drummer of Leonard Skinner.
So you didn't kill Kiss and put them on the wall?
You didn't kill them and put them on your wall?
No, I bought that. I was nagging. Actually, Mike used to be the drummer of the Damn Yankees with Uncle Ted. And then when that band broke up and Artemis Pyle left Skinner, Mike has been the drummer for them since, probably the late 80s. And I became friends with Mike many years ago. And clearly, he played out when he was 18 years old. Hell of an artist. I went to a gallery opening in New York where it was all like rock art that Mike had painted. It was fantastic. So I saw that painting in his house 15 years ago and been nagging him ever since. Can I buy it? Finally called me like 5 years ago. You still want that painting? I'm like, yeah. I paid like 10 grand for that thing. So that's where that came from.
All right, Dan. Sorry.
I'm done.
You're done. Okay, Dan, what's the weirdest thing you've seen in someone's house?
Well, staying on the music, I would say the weirdest thing I've ever seen in somebody's house is Rod Stewart.
Just the person?
The person, yep.
Just go in a house and he's in the corner just sitting there?
Was he mounted on the wall?
He was there.
Oh.
He was there. He was present. That was the weirdest thing I've seen in a house. He is a very odd looking human being. It doesn't look... It looks like an animatronic almost.
Did he have the spiky hair and the?
It's everything that you would expect. Everything you would expect Rod Stewart to look like.
He's about this big.
Yeah, well, he wasn't that small, but he was very frail. He was very frail.
How long ago was this?
This was probably around 2010. 2010, I would say.
Is he still alive by any chance?
I think he is.
Yeah.
I think he is. Yep.
He's been old as for like 30 years too.
It's one of those guys that's just always old. It's like is it Leslie Nielsen? He was just always old.
Yeah, had gray hair back in the 70s, and Steve Martin too. Had gray hair when he was like 20.
He was 20. Yeah.
Yeah. Rod Stewart is 80 years old right now.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Well,
all right, John, what's the weirdest thing you've ever seen? Real quick.
A friend of mine had a live pet turkey.
Oh, in a house?
In his house, just walking around his house. Hey, there's a turkey.
It's not trained, I'm sure, but it was
an Eastern turkey. I don't know where he got the egg from, but he hatched it, and
he sounds like Hagrid.
An Eastern,
he does.
An Eastern turkey was my buddy of mine in Alabama, and honestly, a very rich guy too. Had like a 15,000 foot house, but a little eccentric, clearly, a little eccentric.
It's a Norwegian Ridgeback. If you are a Harry Potter fan, you'll get that. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us this week for Beyond Parody. This was a very fun week. Thanks for joining us, John. Hey, maybe we'll have you on again someday in the future, or we can reciprocate.
Maybe I'll agree.
And you can have us on your show.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right.
Always looking for interesting content.
All right. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, you guys do the rest of your day.
All right.
All right. Bye. Thank you.